Oh. So, Shalom Aleichem, welcome back. So, we're learning, making up Bechukosai, Shabbat, Parshat Bechukotai. This week's Parsha, last week's Parsha. It says, Im Bechukotai Telechu, Vet Mitzvotai Tishmeru, Nasitem Otam. Our Parsha opens up with the brachot. If you keep my commandments, then you'll get rain, peace, blessing. So Chazal comment in the first pasuk is Im b'chokatai telechu, if you follow my chukim, my rules, u'mitzvotai tishmeru, and you fulfill my mitzvot, then you will get all of this. So Rashi asks, what are these two things? It says mitzvotai tishmeru, keep the mitzvot. Then what are the chukotai? What are my rules that you are following? You just said my mitzvot. What is bechukotai talking about? That's all the Meforshim ask this question. What are the two things the pasuk is talking about? And also it's a very important question. What does it mean telechu? Tishmeru means to fulfill the commandments, to guard them, to keep them. Telechu means to walk with them, to go with them. What does that mean, to go with them? It means you're doing it, you're keeping it. So this is a very important word, telechu. And the difference between chukotai and mitzvotai. Mitzvot are my commandments. Chukotai, my rules. What's the difference between the two? What is the... What? So the Sfat Emet, to answer all of this, he quotes the Midrash. The Midrash in our Parsha tells a story, and with this story explains everything. It's a story of David HaMelech. B'kol yom chashavti drachai. It brings a pasuk in Tehillim. Chashavti drachai v'ashiva raglai el edo isecha. What does that mean? Chashavti drachai. I made decisions about my path, where I should go. V'ashiva raglai el edo isecha. And I walk. I send my feet. I walk to your ways, to your commandments. What does the pasuk mean? So the Midrash tells a story of David HaMelech. B'chol yom hayiti mechashev b'makom ploni ani holech. Every day I would get up in the morning and I have a plan. I would think out a plan. I'm going to go there and there. I'm going to go to that house. I'm going to go to that office. I'm going to go to that war. This and my business. I have a whole list of plans what to do today, important things. And then what happened? V'hoyu raglai neviois oisi lebotei knesset ubotei hamedrash. And my feet would just take me straight to yeshiva. I had 10 ideas what to do. I have to go to this office. I have to take care of that. I have to go da. 8:30 I'll be in this office. 9:30 I'll be in that office. 10:30 I'll do that. Go shopping there. What happened? In the end, I just got to yeshiva. I just walked to yeshiva. I just couldn't control myself. I just walked to yeshiva, and I got there to yeshiva, and I stayed there the whole day. That was David HaMelech's life story. Oh. So what's the deep meaning? What is the meaning behind this? So, and this is what it means. Chashavti drachai. I thought I would go here and there. But in the end, what truly happened, v'yashiva raglai eledotecha. Going to your Torah. At the end, I get to the Torah. Okay, that was the beautiful story of David HaMelech. That's daily story. Oh, so what's the deeper meaning behind this? How does this fit into our pasuk? And how did it happen? Why did David HaMelech do this? What did he think in the first place? And then why did he change his mind, or why didn't he do that? What happened? So he says like this. The Sfas Emes says, Ki ha'adam Sheyesh lo das. Any person who has das, has seichel. You have to use your understanding. You have to use your brain. Anybody who has das, mechuyav liyageh atzmo b'sichlo, leida es derech hayoshev hatzedek. You're obligated to work hard, to think hard, and to learn, to really think and understand what the proper way is, where to go in life, what to do in life. You have to use your mind to figure out the truth, the true path. Aval, but the truth is, be'emes, ein bekoach, seichel ha'adam ba'atzmo, nimtzo derech hayashar. But Sfat Emes says the truth is, it's really impossible. You really can't. You can't figure out the truth. It's impossible for a person to figure out the truth on his own, where to go, what is the true path is in life for each person. So you have to try and think really hard and use your brain, but then you have to have some humility and say, I can't figure out on my own. Ach, but tzarich levatel kol sichlo laTorah u'mitzvot Hashem. At the end, the person has to admit that I don't really understand. There's the way of the Torah. Following the Torah, I follow it even if I don't understand. So in the end, there is a path of the Torah that I don't understand, and I'm doing it anyway. But that doesn't mean I don't have to use my brain. I have to think, what is the right path? I have to think really hard. But in the end, I'm not relying on my seichel. I have to admit and accept that it's the chokhmah of the Torah, of the mitzvot. That's way beyond anything I understand. ובזה הביטול שמבטל שכלו. Okay, this is step 2, and that's step 3. First step is to really learn and to think, to use your brain, what you feel, what you understand. Step 2, say I can't really understand. I don't really understand. This is very deep. Then step 3, once I did step 2, then step 3, by doing this, לבסוף מתעלה גם כל המחשבות שהתבונן בשכלו למצוא דרך הישר. By doing that, then we go back to step 1. All of my seichel, my knowledge, my understanding, as a human being, I'm able to fix that and raise that up to a much higher level. Naturally, my own capability of understanding, of knowledge, is limited. I can't really understand. So I go to step B and I say, I don't understand. I just accept what the Torah says, and I do it without understanding it. But then there's reward. By doing that, in the end, you get to really understand something of what's up there. By doing that, you get to understand the depth of the Torah in your seichel. You get to really understand and have a real connection to it. Oh. Now let's go back to David HaMelech. That's what's happening in Tehillim. Chashavti drachai. When we get up in the morning, we make all these plans. This is the right thing to do. I have to go there. And he did all these things. He was doing important things. David HaMelech was doing very important things, doing very important mitzvot. I have to do A, B, C, and D. And he was right. This is what he understood that he has to do. Hayuli kama machshavot ve'itzot. I had lots of plans, lots of ideas. Ulebesov, but in the end, hoyu raglai miviot Levatel atzmi elidotecha. But then I threw out all those plans. I threw out all those ideas, anything I understood. I want to hear what you said. I want to just accept the Torah. Not what I thought. Everything I thought, I forget all of that. I walk to the Bet Midrash. And then I hear what Hashem says in the Torah. That's what I did at the end. Oh. And that's what our parasha is telling us. Rashi comments on the first part of the pasuk. Mitzvosai tishmeru is following, is doing it, doing the mitzvah, doing what you have to do. What is b'chukosai teileichu? So Rashi comments on that. That's amal b'Torah. Learning hard, learning and really with all your time and all your effort to really understand it. So, to understand what to do, to understand the Torah. So he says, that's referring to what we're talking about, everything we said till now. You have to try to understand. Hashem said the truth in the Torah, but we have to try to understand it ourselves. We have to bring it down to our understanding. We have to not give up. We have to really think through it. Think through it all. Go through everything. Challenge everything. That's Amal Torah. The Halicha. What does Teilechu mean? What does it mean? Teilechu. You should do it. You should be osek in it. What does Teilechu mean? Halicha. Halicha means walking. It means going and traveling. What does that mean? Hi b'seichel v'da'as. That's you. Halicha, the way you feel it, how it works out for you. You take the chukotai, this is the Torah, but teilechu, go with it. Go with it, see how it works out. That's your seichel. Rak, but sheyeh tachlis kol ha-seichel levatel atzmoi l'chukois Hashem. But the tachlis of all of this journey, all of this searching, all of this studying, learning, what's the tachlis? Where do we have to reach to understand that we don't know, and to accept Hashem's chukot? And the difference between a chok and a mitzvah and a mishpat, a chok is a rule that we follow Hashem out of humility without understanding, just because Hashem said so. When we reach that madrega, that's a tremendous anava. That's really the highest madrega, going beyond anything we understand. כמו שכתבנו במקום אחר, פירוש הפסוק. Now we're bringing another pasuk in Tehillim, at the beginning of Tehillim, the first parak. בתוירס השם חפצוי ובתוירוסוי יהגה. The pasuk starts off in the beginning of Tehillim. What are we supposed to do? What should a man do with his life? B'toras Hashem chefetzo, a person should always learn the Torah of Hashem, that is choose the Torah of Hashem. U'b'torato yegeh, and learn and think in his Torah. So we have a question. Chazal asked a question. First you call it Torah Hashem, Hashem's Torah. And then the pasuk says Torah to, your Torah. If any person learns Torah, it's that person's Torah. First you said it's Hashem's Torah. So whose is it? So Chazal answer. First it's Hashem's Torah. This is Hashem's Torah. After we learn through it, we really put into it, we sacrifice, we learn it, then it's given to us as a present. It's ours. Hashem calls it our Torah. So what does that mean? So he says like this. He says, Afal piken b'toiras Hashem chefzo daika. There's yehageh and there's chefzo. Now, yehageh means to study, to learn. We are learning what we understand. If we're learning, that means we're understanding. But that's not enough. There's the learning, and we have to learn. Chefzo is the chefetz, is what we really want. What do we dream for? What are we yearning for? Torah of Hashem. The Torah, not the Torah that we understand. We always have to have that ratzon for Hashem's Torah that we don't have yet.
שהגם שיש לו הרבה חוכמה ודעת, even if we know a lot, we understand a lot, we learned a lot of חוכמה and Torah, wisdom and understanding. בתורה יגע יומם ולילה, and we're constantly learning. מכל מקום, ייקח חפצו בתורת השם. What are we really looking for? We shouldn't be satisfied with that. That's not lishma. Anything we learn and learn and learn, which is very, very important, we'll only get there if we learn and learn and learn. We have to have lishma. We can learn 18 hours a day. We can learn for 18 years. But Torah Hashem Chetza, what do we want to get to? We want to get to Torah Hashem. We want to know that we don't know. We want somebody to tell us, "Oh, we didn't understand. It's not the real pshat." We want the Torah to teach us something that we don't know, to change our midah, our midot, to change us. Ki Torah Hashem ein la cheker. Because the truth is, he's also hinting to another important teaching we learned before. Anything we understand is nice, it makes sense, but it's limited. The Torah of Hashem is without any limit. It's without any it's infinite. So the more we learn, the more we can learn. Because it's the Torah of Hashem, the Torah that we received on Shavuot, the Torah received, and the Torah that's guiding us, because only when we accept it's a Torah of Hashem, that we could always yearn for more. If we don't accept that it's the Torah of Hashem, just what we understand, that we know better, then once we understand it, it's over. We did it already, we know the truth. Only when we accept that it's the Torah of Hashem, then we can have a chefetz and a ratzon. וצריך האדם להגיע בתורה, למצוא רצונו יתברך, ולבטל שכל עצמו, כי חכמתם עליו. So now this is the rule in learning Torah. When we're learning and putting all our effort into learning Torah, what's our intention? What's our kavanah? Let's say we open up a Gemara, we open up a parasha, we go to a shir. So we like to hear, something that we like, something we understand. Let's say we open up a Gemara, we learn it and it makes sense. Or we like to explain it. We see a pasuk and we explain it. This is what the pasuk is saying. I understand, I use my chokhmah, I learn, I think through it, and now I explain the pasuk. So what happened? You are teaching the Torah. The Torah is not teaching you. What we really should be doing is learning Torah, and every time we learn, say, "Oh, I didn't know that. That didn't make sense to me." And at the beginning, it still doesn't make sense. Just after we learn it, something that didn't make sense to us, and we accept that it's something we didn't understand, we didn't know, we made a mistake, whatever. Then after that, then we get a special gift. Then we get to understand some of it. Some of it, but there's always more to understand. That's a special gift. By doing bitul, by accepting that, then we could always grow more and more. So that's in the final bracha in Vayikra, B'chokoisai, is telling us, B'chokoisai teleichu, u'mitzvosai tishmoru. That there could be two people, or any of us. We can do it all. We can do all the mitzvot. We can be learning and learning and learning, but we're not really learning. We're not really doing Hashem's mitzvot. We could be fulfilling the mitzvot because it makes sense. It's important. It's a good thing to do. But when are we really following Hashem? When it doesn't make sense to us. When we accept that it's Hashem's chokhmah, and then once we understand that's a real chokhmah. To understand that it's Hashem's chokhmah and there's something beyond us, and that's really accepting the Torah. That's accepting the Torah at Har Sinai. And he also points out that also helps us do real amal v'yigia. How do we know that we're really learning hard, really putting our effort into it? If we're looking and searching for more out of anava, that we don't understand it, we open up a Gemara, we learn the Gemara, we say, we're missing, we don't understand it, we're not fluent, we don't really understand it, we want to get the real pshat, then that's called amelim b'Torah. That we're really working hard, and and from Torah like that we're growing, we're changing. That's what the Torah tells us. How to get the ultimate bracha for Am Yisrael, want to get the real bracha, we have to really do it. The real. If we just do mitzvot tishmaru, we just keep the mitzvot because it makes sense to us, and we're not breaking our gava, we're not changing our midah, and it all makes sense to us. We're still not doing it yet. And this is the madrega. This is what we're working for 49 days. This is what we're learning about the past few weeks. For 49 days, we have to go through night by night, saying, I understood this. I have this midah. I personally am at this madrega. I like this. I do this. Okay, but then we have to say, now how can I receive more? How can I change my midah and accept the Torah, to be a real yid, to do more. And then, so what happens is, it's at the beginning it seems as if we're sacrificing ourselves. When we say that we can't understand, it seems, everything we've done till now, that he's pointing out the tremendous nisayon, the tremendous test it is to receive the Torah. Why it's so difficult? Because if a person really has to accept this and admit that a person can't really understand on his own, so that means after 20 years of searching, of studying, a person says, I can't understand without the Torah. It's all not real. It's all not true. It's very difficult. How could we say that our whole lives we were just wrong, and it was just nonsense what we were doing? It's impossible to find the truth without Hashem showing it us in the Torah. Anything that we understand at all, and it can't be the truth. How can we do that? The Sfas Emes back in Yisro, he says the parsha of Matan Torah, which we're about to read in Shavuos. What parsha is that? The Matan Torah, the giving of the Torah. In what parsha is that mentioned? That's in Parshas Yisro, the parsha of Yitro, the ger who came after his whole life of the searching and then trying all the different religions and everything, and he discovered that the Torah was right, and he came to Har Sinai and he came to join the Jewish people. Well, that's the story of Yitro. So the Sfas Emes there asks the question, why is he called Yitro? Chazal say he's really called Yeter. Yeter means something extra that's really not necessary. If he did something so important, Chazal even say more than that. His whole parsha is really something extra, something really not necessary. What does that mean? He did something very important. He discovered the truth. He represents the ger who came from outside, was not born to Avraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov, and discovered. So the Sfas Emes is a beautiful word, according to everything we're learning now, that it's true, it's very important to learn and search and discover that there must be a Torah, that there must be a Torah given by Hashem and to the Jewish people. That's beautiful. And to prove it with your understanding, to understand why I have to do that. But that's till you receive the Torah. Once Yitro received the Torah at Har Sinai and Hashem revealed the truth, then all of his studying and understanding for the past 50 years was really miyutar, was really extra, was in a way was wrong. Because now you accept that you can't really understand.
So, so all of your understanding and all of your philosophy that brought you to this point, now you have to admit that what you're discovering is that it's all wrong. The whole way of thinking is wrong. This whole way of searching for through Hashem on my own, with my understanding, is really not true. So that's why it's yeter. That was a sacrifice. It's the biggest sacrifice. It's not just sacrificing his house and his palace that he had in Midian. It's sacrificing his whole truth, his whole truth that brought him to Torah, his whole tshuva in a way. He got to Torah through all of his work, through all of his learning and all of his effort. And then he has to admit, and even that's not enough. Even that's really not emet. To totally be mevatel myself and jump and become totally a new person. Not to sit back and say, oh, look at all the work I did. Look at all the searching and understanding, and I've discovered the truth. And just continue with that. There is no continuing. Discovering the truth means to become a new person. To admit, to accept that all that was past. But it's not chas v'shalom. It's not that he wasted 50 years. The Sfatim teaches us that itself is a tremendous chokhmah. That fixes and raises up all those years of studying, which were not the right way. They really would not have been the right way for a person to go, but a person who did go through that path, because he did not have the merit of having that Torah, being born with it, doesn't have to go around and around in circles till he reached the truth. So what happens is none of that was wasted. All of that is important. All of that studying and wisdom and chokhmah, by accepting the Torah in the end, by accepting the Torah that we don't understand, then a special gift, a person gets a special supernatural gift that he's able to understand even that. Something that really can't be understood by a human being, can't be understood. We even get that. We get that special connection, that special understanding. It's, on the one hand, it's a sacrifice that we accept, that we don't understand, but that's also an understanding. That's also a chokhmah, to know that we don't know. And only somebody who went through all of that can have that special level. Somebody who did not go through all of that and had the zchut, had the merit to receive it directly from Hashem, directly from the family, directly from the avot, then that's wonderful. It's going straight to the truth. Starting from being born inside, that's wonderful. Somebody who's born on the outside, that's amal vigia, all of that work and that hard work. Some people just go the shortcut, just go straight there, that was straight and clear. Some people have to go around for 70 years, around in circles to get to the truth, but they're both okay. They were not wasted. Those 70 years are really raised up. They're turned around into 70 wonderful years. All the confusion and all those mistakes we made, we only got there by making mistakes. All those mistakes can be turned into real chokhmah. First they were fake chokhmah, it was ga'ava. I think and I understand and I know, it was ga'ava. But if in the end the person receives the Torah and understands, the person doesn't know, then it's all turned around into real chokhmah. And you can use all of that for serving Hashem. These are the real lessons we have to learn from Matan Torah, from Yitro, from Matan Torah. That's receiving the Torah. And that's what real Amal Vigya is. This is stark Musar, but it's something that when we reach it, it's so simple. When we finally reach the truth, when we finally receive the Torah from Hashem, then it's all clear and simple. And then then we look backwards and everything was simple.
He points out also this in the story of David HaMelech, in the story that we read. So what was the story? Every day has the plan. He's going to go to this office and do that mitzvah, go to that war. All important things that David HaMelech had to do. Important things he had to do for Am Yisrael, for the Torah. Okay, and in the end, what did he do? He just went straight to yeshiva and sat and learned. So what was right? What was the right thing to do? So on the one hand, so the Sfas Emes, the way he teaches it up and understands it, the question is not only going to yeshiva or doing all those things. It's deeper. Going to yeshiva means learning, receiving the Torah from the source of the Torah, and going here and going there is not simply going here or going there. It's my idea. It's my plans. I made a plan in life. It's a plan that we made, and going to the yeshiva is raising above my plans and my, I think, the way things should be. It's being able to go above that, to raise above that, to go into that simple truth. But then what happens? So he says, Knesset. What does Bate Knesset mean? Kinus, bringing everything in. When David HaMelech finally sat down in the Beit HaMedrash, in the yeshiva, he didn't chas v'shalom miss all those appointments, miss all those wars and everything. What he did, he was able to raise them all up. He was able to bring them into the Beis Medrash to do in the right way. If he would not have gone to the yeshiva and we would have done all these good things, so he wouldn't have reached the Tachlis. He would have done lots of good things, and that's all he would have done. Now, by going to yeshiva, David HaMelech is not saying not to do all those things. He's saying now to understand how to do them right, how to do them how they really come from the yeshiva, from the Torah, from the inside, how they really come from the inside, from inside of me. And by doing that, then everything is then it's much clearer. It's all simple. But sometimes we have confusion. It's either, sometimes it's confusion, or like the Sfas Emes says, it's simple gaiva. If I think that this is the right thing to do, but I'm not asking from a das Torah, I'm not doing it with tefillah, I'm doing because I think this is the right thing, then it can't be the right thing. Then it'll just bring confusion. I'll do lots of things and I won't get anywhere. But if I know the tachlis, if I go first to the yeshiva, then everything will end up there, and it'll all work out. It's another important point that fits in with all of this, the story of David HaMelech. He says, every morning I would make my plan, I will go here, I will go there. So till now we're talking about the inyan of Ga'ava. I think and I think and I think. But there's another point. It's another more subtle point. We talked about it in Parashat Emor. It's not simply a question of what I think is right. It's more than that. The question is it for me, or is it for for Am Yisrael? Is it for the Torah? Now, when David HaMelech wanted to go here, wanted to go there, I think this is where I should go, I think this is where I should go. For us, for our self-fulfillment, I need to do such and such to reach a certain level. This is the right thing for me to do. So that could be that that's the right path for me. But going to in the end, David HaMelech said, first, before I fix myself and look at myself, what I have to be, what I need to do to clean myself up, to fix myself up, to do my tshuva, he said, that's kind of a gaiva. I am thinking about myself. I want to be on a certain level. I look at myself, I'm not happy about it. I want to be better. That's really not the true level, because you're really thinking about yourself. But that is you. That's what you start out with. We start out with, we look at ourselves and we want to change. But that has to bring us to a higher level. V'yashiva raglaya leidosecha. Batiknesios or batimidoshes, that's becoming part of the tzibur. Don't talk about yourself so much. Don't think too much about yourself. You're only part of a tzibur. What does Am Yisrael have to do? What do we have to do for Hashem to fix this world? Now, we have to stop thinking about ourselves so much, and think about everybody. And when we do that, then we really get that koach to fix ourselves, to deal with our own problems. But only if we raise above our own problems, we raise above that kind of gaiva. That's the lesson we have to learn from David HaMelech. He says that's this Vasem says this idea very often. He says that's the real level of lishma. The real level of lishma. If a person, he says, Ubevadai, it's certainly beprat as an individual. I efshar liyochid lasois hamitzvah keroi. It's impossible for an individual to do the mitzvah the real way, properly. Lo'orer shoresh elyon. For the mitzvah to do what the mitzvah really has to do. Let's say I do a mitzvah. Finally I do a mitzvah. I can't do a mitzvah. Who am I to do that mitzvah and to expect that mitzvah to change the world? I'm trying to change myself. I'm thinking about myself. I want a better life. I want to be a better person. Rak, only B'klal Yisrael, with all of Jewish people brought together, Nimtza kol eila hamadregos. Only there it's real and whole. There's all of Klal Yisrael. Oh, v'zeh sha'oma. That's what David HaMelech was saying. Mikodem chashavti drachai shu beprat. First, chashavti drachai. I was thinking about my musar, about my path. What do I have to do to fix my midos? What's wrong with me? How can I clean myself up? It's a kind of a selfishness. It's kind of a not lishma. I want to fix myself, to save myself. But that's also important. He says that also can bring us to truth. But by doing that, zochin alidei shemachnisin atzmo beklal v'kayim mitzvah lishmo yisborach bilvad. But by doing that, it brings us to do it together with Klal Yisrael, to care about others. When we're doing a mitzvah, we have to always think, are other people doing this mitzvah too? How can we do it together with somebody else, with another group? Then, by doing that, it's really the Shema. It's not selfish. We aren't just thinking about ourselves. And he says, then the schar for that is rain. Mida keneged mida. Only then we're really raising above ourselves. It's a very important mashal that as long as we're doing the mitzvot as individuals, I'm living in my house, I'm living in my country, in my corner, and I'm really doing what it says to do. It seems okay. Hashem is telling us you're not really serving Hashem. You're fixing yourself. The mitzvot are not going up there. They're staying down here. How can we make the mitzvahs go up there? Really to get higher and higher, to raise up to their real root. Only if we're together with Klal Yisrael. Then we have that power as Klal Yisrael to just raise above what we are. Just go to the real truth of the Torah, the real source. And that's why it brings down Geshem, rain. That's what the Geshem represents. That we need rain. It has to come from up there. And Geshem, as Chassanis points out, it's not just the rain, it's anything that has to come from up there. Any help we need. That after all we do, whether as individuals, whether we do it together, after everything, we still need a lot of miracles. We still need a real geula. We need miracles from above. But by doing this, by becoming a klal and doing mitzvahs as a klal, then it will all the rain will come down. All that help will just come down from something you never even dreamed of. Koach will come down. Help will come down that we couldn't even imagine that we can do. All that is Baruch Hashem. That's what we're striving for. It's a big. So this is already. These are two musarim that are very, very connected. What we started off with, that simple musar of gaiva. I know and I understand. Then we have to accept that we can't understand. How can I understand everything? But then he goes on to say this second level, so the very lemaisadik of being part of the klal. That till we reach the klal, as long as we're doing mitzvot, just on our own, thinking about ourselves, and just focusing on each one of us doing that mitzvah, the mitzvot are not getting any higher. They're not really accomplishing what they can accomplish. But we do the mitzvot as an individual, because only by doing that we can be part of the klal. We have to be a klal. The only thing that brings us to the klal is by doing it. It works together. But our kavanah, like you said before, the chefetz, the Torah Hashem chefetzo, not Torato. If we think about that's another meaning. It's also another understanding of Torato. Till now we were explaining Torato is my understanding of things, and therefore we have to be the Torah Hashem chefetzo. We have to want something that we don't know. We have to know something to change ourselves, to hear and receive that we don't know yet. That's one level. Now the second level, which is a very, very important level, saying Torah soy is me, my Torah. I am fixing my midos. I am actually living a life of holiness, of purity, a good life, and I'm even helping people. I'm doing lots of things, but I am doing it as an individual. The Torah's Hashem chefetzo. When does the Torah become a Torah of Hashem? When it's not my Torah. If I can be part of the klal, if I can join the Klal Yisrael, to join a tzibur, and to work together with the tzibur, then it becomes Hashem's Torah, Hashem's mitzvah. Then it's really not a selfish Torah. That's what we have to strive to. It's not a selfish Torah, and Mamish becomes Hashem's Torah, and then we see the Geshem coming down. Then we bring miracles down from Mamish, from way above. And then we help, and then it goes back, and it fixes our own midot. That goes back to the 49 days. The 49 days are midot. Each one of us has our midah. Pesach is Yitziat Mitzrayim, becoming part of Bitul to the cloud. By being Bitul, doing the Bitul to Klal Yisrael, to get out of Egypt together with Klal Yisrael, to forget about my own personal problems or midot, to be mevatel myself. That's the best way to fix a midah. All the midot, and we have to fix our midot. We have to work on our midot. They're bad. We have to fix them. We have to clean ourselves up and be better and purified. But the first step in doing that is not by fixing my midah, by totally being mevatel myself by joining Klal Yisrael. And then we have the Klal. Then naturally I don't think about myself. I become part of the Klal, so I'm not selfish anymore. But then I still I can't forget about myself. Then he says, Ve'amarta aleim. Go back to, let me count step by step after we joined Klal Yisrael. And we're mamish part of Klal Yisrael. That helps us even fix our own problems, our own personal worlds that each one of us has. Step by step, midah by midah. And then we come on Shavuos, we receive the Torah, and we get it all together. It all works out beautiful. So, with Hashem's help, we have a few more days, a few more weeks to finish preparing for Shavuos. So we're gonna receive the Torah together with Am Yisrael, and we're just having all of our problems, all of our what we need to in this world to come, everything we need for us, for all of Am Yisrael. We should get the Torah and get it all.